What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to No Life Till Metal. We're going to be doing a little different video today. I'm going to be showing some more memorabilia. This time around, rather than you looking at me and me showing things to you like this, I'm going to take the camera, turn around. I'm going to show you one of my scrapbooks full of metal and rock memorabilia. I've got several of these kind of books, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot here. I'm just going to turn the camera off, turn it around. I'm going to show you guys some stuff. Eventually I'll go through all these if y'all like them, and let me know how you think of them. So yeah, let's get right to it. Alright, so this is going to be kind of a different video for No Life Till Metal. Instead of seeing me talking, you're going to be looking at one of my many scrapbooks full of basically rock metal memorabilia stuff. And this is going to be the first one. I think this is like basically A through D. We got a bunch of these, and I kind of keep them in that order. A through D, and there's one that's full of nothing but Nugent, another one full of guitar picks, signature guitar picks from bands. This one just happens to be A through D. A lot of 8x10 photos, but we're going to get into that. So all these are just basically folders full of stuff, starting right in the covers, which I've got all kinds of junk shoved in. As you can see here, there's a few stickers shoved in here. Ultimatum, Celtic Frost, Inner Siege, Grave Forsaken, and an old Alice Cooperstown. Basically, I think it's the thing they put popcorn in at one time when the year they first opened up. So I can't really see the camera real well, so hopefully you guys can. The camera's set up so that you can see this. So hopefully I won't bump it too much. And we're going to start off, and some of the stuff's out of the sleeves because this is the second time I did this video. The first time I did it, the camera wasn't recording. Moron. Anyhow, we're going to start off with an Accept 8x10 promo photo. Nothing to this one. It's not autographed or anything. Ticket stub from the show I saw out in California at the, this is actually the set list that was signed by the entire band, and it was from the Key Club show, and here's another ticket stub from that show with Ruthless opening up, October 2010, and the set list autographed by the whole band. And then this is the actual ticket stub that I had. It's kind of beat because I had it in my pocket, but kind of don't like the digital printout ones. I'd rather have an original ticket, and I actually found this one while I was there on the floor, but it's the same show. Like this one better. And this is actually a promo poster that they had given out at the show. They were giving these out for free. Blood of the Nations. I didn't have the band sign this because I had other stuff I wanted them to sign. Had them sign, the set list, as well as a few albums that I brought along. And I also asked Mark to sign a TT Quick album for me. So there's a handbill from the Key Club as well from that show. And a few Accuser postcards. Accuser being a German thrash metal band, probably one of the more underrated thrash metal bands in my opinion. I actually like them as much as the bigger, more well-known German Teutonic thrash metal bands, Creator, Destruction, Sodom, Tanker, those kind of bands. I think Accuser fit right in there and are just a fantastic band. One of my favorite bands, Aerosmith. Just a bunch of 8x10 promo photos. Steven Tyler promo photo. Still can't figure out what that is. He looks like an orange or an apple. I don't know. He's got in his mouth there. Old Aerosmith promo photo here. Another one here, which I think is from the... I'm not actually sure. It might be... What's the year on here? I thought it was 9 Lives, but I can't remember now what promo photo that is. Then I got a bunch of photos in here from... This is actually a photo from 1977, an original photo. It's a little bit faded because it was taken by Colleen Bracken in California, and then you can see the back, 11/23/1977, San Diego Sports Arena, photo by Colleen Bracken. Very cool photo by her, and there's several more of those in here. Just an old Aerosmith promo photo. The Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster is a postcard from it, and a picture of me standing in front of it. I love that ride. I love roller coasters. A couple of jukebox slips, and I don't know where I got those from. Photo of guitarist Jimmy Crespo, who of course played on the Rock and Hard Place album. Toured with the band for a long time, actually. I did get to meet Jimmy once in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is where he lives. Unfortunately, I did not have this photo with me at the time. I did not know I was going to meet him there. It was totally by accident that I ran into him. He gave me a guitar pick. I'd love to get this photo signed by Jimmy Crespo one of these days. My very first time seeing any concert was seeing Aerosmith at the Spectrum. Jimmy Crespo was on guitar, and he was just a huge presence on stage, and loved it. And also think it's a great picture. I love this BC Rich guitar he's playing here. Some more photos by Colleen. There's a picture of the Draw the Line billboard out in Hollywood. A couple more photos by Colleen. This is a picture from the Hard Rock Cafe. I don't remember, someone sent me this. It's a picture of a bunch of Aerosmith stuff at the Hard Rock Cafe or the Hard Rock Hotel, one of those places. Aerosmith on Hit Parader magazine from 1979. One of my favorite magazines. This is from 1978, I believe. Queen versus Aerosmith, the Titanic battle for the heavy metal crown. Of course, we all know that Aerosmith and Queen were never considered heavy metal, right? In the 70s, they were. Anyhow, just a magazine dedicated to those two bands. Great magazine. Grooves. Kerrang magazine from the UK with Steven Tyler on the cover. An old Aerosmith comic book from the 80s. And some more Aerosmith junk in the back here. This is actually a lottery ticket. I'm sure they had this thing all over the United States, but this is a New Mexico lottery scratcher. Aerosmith Just Push Play. I would like to have one that was unscratched, but man, how could you leave an unscratched lottery ticket in there? You can't. This is the promo folder from Agent Zero. Don't know much about them. This is actually given to me by a VC member, and it's a cool photo. Did check them out on YouTube, and they put out a bunch of demos, and they never really saw much success outside of, you know, I mean, I'm not saying they weren't successful in the club scene, they were, but they just never saw the big label or anything like that. Autographed Angel flyer. They did an in-store appearance at the Rock Stop back in, I believe this was the late 90s. And you can see it's signed by the entire band. Barry Brandt on drums over there. Randy Gregg was the bass player who was playing on that tour, and Randy also played in Thin Lizzy for quite a while. The you know, the Thin Lizzy band who's been playing in the last few years. Obviously not the original Thin Lizzy. Angel, this is actually an Angel photo, and so is this. Some Angel photos, again, taken by Colleen Bracken back in the 70s. This one, I believe, was from 78. May 5th, 1978, Swing Auditorium, San Bernardino, photo by Colleen Bracken. And Colleen's got some great rock photography. She's done some really good stuff. And I have a bunch of her stuff actually framed and hanging in my room. Here's a couple smaller photos she took. Some more in here. Some more, and then there's a couple Angel stickers. Angel Dust, power metal band, Century Media Records, promo photo. Another Angel Dust promo photo. Anthrax, another one of my favorite bands. You're going to see quite a few here. This is, of course, Joey Belladonna era. Hulk Hogan in this one. Not sure what was going on with that. Scott Ian, Charlie Benante, Hulk Hogan. Again, Belladonna sticker. One more Belladonna. I got a bunch of them with John Bush. Bush with the long hair here. And that was the last of that. The rest of the album's he's sporting the shorter haircut. Some more Anthrax. Scott Ian from Randall Amplifiers, Washburn Guitars, promo photo. This is a really old Anthrax 11x17 poster. But what's more important is there's a backstage pass, working pass for 1989 tour. An old Anthrax Life of Agony ticket stub. And then we got some The Greater Two Evil stickers. This one happens to be signed by Charlie Benante, and a couple of Anthrax stickers up here with Scott Ian on them. And these are signed by Scott. Back in the 90s, you know, Anthrax weren't too popular for whatever reason. I still loved them, and I bought everything they put out, you know, as brand new releases. And you could buy stuff on their website cheap. They were selling everything from their guitar picks to stickers, and they'd autograph anything for you. And Scott Ian autographed both these for me, and I always thought his autograph looked a little bit like Satan, S-A-T-A-N, but of course it's Scott Ian. And then this is just an old Anthrax postcard. Annihilator 8x10 promo photo. Another one on the other side. And this is an Anvil promo photo. Again, just like Anthrax, in the 90s, Anvil were really, really unpopular for whatever reason. Not with me. I bought all their albums as new releases. I love Anvil. I have all their stuff. You could buy this stuff cheap, though. I bought a pile of these things on eBay for like nothing, $5. I think the shipping was probably more than I paid for the this pile of 8x10 promo photos. So when I finally got to meet Anvil a few years ago, I believe it was 2010 maybe or so, I got to meet Anvil and out in California. I'm sorry, not in California, in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Went out there with Randy Trog and got to meet them and had them sign this. And since I had a bunch of them, I brought them with me and I was giving them out to people to get signed. And you know, the band were like, "Where did you get these from? We don't even have any." And all the people were pointing at me, saying, "Hey, that guy gave them to us." And so I ended up giving a couple to the band too because they said they didn't have any. And getting to meet Lips, he was really, really cool. The flyer from that show at the Marquee Club in Phoenix, February 2nd. Another one I picked up in that same lot of. This one's actually starting to yellow a little bit from age. There we go. One that's untouched. I left one unautographed. One of my favorite bands, Armored Saints. Actually, I had a couple different Armored Saint ones. Sent one off to Joey Vera in the mail and asked him to autograph it for me for the bass player for Ultimatum, Rob Whitlock, who's a friend of mine. I got it framed and gave it to him for Christmas because he's a huge Armored Saint fan. So I had to get it signed by one of his favorite bass players. And sure enough, Joey signed it, sent it back to me, and I got it framed. And I'm sure he still has it hanging at his house. Autograph 8x10, At War 8x10. Great thrash band, U.S. thrash band. Can't remember where I got that 8x10 photo from. I've had it for quite a while. At War, some stickers, and this is actually an original. I'll just take all this stuff out of here. Oops, sorry. This is an original Eat Lead demo cover, autographed. An old sticker from the 80s, and a couple newer At War stickers. Playbill from Jesus Christ Superstar, and you can see who's on the cover here. Boss. Yeah. Pretty cool. Baron Cross 8x10 promo photo from their very first album, Rock for the King. Really, really old Baron Cross handbill. Prophet and Baron Cross. 1985, February 16th, 1985. Jeff Beck 8x10 promo photo. Beyond Fear promo photo. This is actually the band that Tim Ripper Owens went to after he gets given his walking papers from Judas Priest. And this one is actually signed by Tim right here in blue Sharpie. And then on the flip side is some more Beyond Fear stuff. This one too is signed by Tim, and a couple of Beyond Fear stickers. Eddie B, Conviction. Eddie's been doing it, been playing music full time for as long as I've known him. Probably, gosh, maybe 20, 25 years now. Maybe even longer than that. I've known him. Eddie is just he's a minister, he's a musician, and he just travels the country playing mostly prisons, some churches, some auditoriums, but a lot of prisons. He's just a great guy with a great ministry, and this was actually right after Conviction broke up. This is Eddie here in the middle, and it's of course autographed by Eddie, who is still a good friend of mine. And on the flip side, you can see this is actually Eddie and the Crusaders, which is was a short-lived band Eddie had done. This is actually an old Conviction sticker. Conviction are great. They put out a bunch of tapes in one CD, and that one CD is really hard to find. They kind of reminded me of Kicks. That's kind of what their sound was. And this is a more recent picture of Eddie B. 8x10 promo photo. This is actually just from this year. And it's not signed. I should get it signed. Zakk Wylde, Black Label Society 8x10 promo photo. The blank here was I used to have a Zakk Wylde promo poster that was autographed by him, but I now have that framed hanging on my wall. Black Label Society patch. Black Sabbath 8x10 promo photo from Reprise Records with Ronnie James. Love this promo photo. It's an original. Yeah. Blind Guardian promo photo. Bloodgood promo photo. Ultimatum played a show with them in Cornerstone. This is autographed by Michael Bloodgood. And if you flip it over, this is actually the Cornerstone set list. And it's signed by vocalist Les Carlson, Mark Welling. And for some reason I didn't bump into Michael Bloodgood or Oz Fox, who was also playing with them at that show. And this is another set list from Bloodgood. Really short set list at that. Not sure where this show was. This is actually given to me by a friend who went to this show. Brand New Sin, who is a newer southern rock 70s kind of throwback kind of band. Really like them. Have all their stuff on CD, and just a good band. Not something you hear talked about much in the vinyl community. Not something I've talked about much. Bride 11x17 promo poster for Tsar Bama, which is an album from a few years ago on Retroactive Records. Same label that Ultimatum was on for a while. This is The Brave from the album Battle Cries. This actually was given out as a promotional thing with the CD when you bought it back when it first came out. Of course, I've never used it for anything. It's just been in this book. Bride, signed by vocalist Dale Thompson, and this is it press kit. Over here we have a little handbill for the Jason Bonham Band doing the Zepp set, doing all Zeppelin songs, and it's autographed by Jason Bonham. So I'm not sure where this flyer was, but you can see it's kind of a little faded. It's not something that I personally got signed, unlike a lot of the stuff in this thing. This was actually one sign that got signed for a friend. Coal Chamber Dressing Room flyer, signed by the band. Not a huge fan of Coal Chamber, but a friend of mine is, and gave me this. Obviously, his name is John. He was just cleaning the house that he didn't want it, handed it over to me. So, Celtic Frost 8x10 promo from massively underrated, much hated, loathed in many cases, Cold Lake album. And I like Cold Lake. I don't care what anybody says. No, it's not as dark and heavy as the earlier Celtic Frost or Celtic Frost releases. Regardless, I think it's a good album. It's got great hooks, great guitars. It's still heavy. It still sounds like Celtic Frost. It's just got more hooks and it's less dark. But whatever, I liked it. Cheap Trick press kit. Actually, this is just a backstage pass from them from the All Shook Up tour. But this is actually a full press kit. This actually doesn't even belong in here. This belongs over here because this doesn't belong as part of that press kit. So you can see the full press kit. Epic Records. I think it was a Standing on the Edge press kit. This is beautiful. Cirith Ungol poster handbill. Several years ago, I bought a T-shirt from the original guitar player from the very first Frost and Fire lineup, and I bought it off of eBay. And I found that after the fact, after I bought it, that it was the guitar player, and we kind of talked back and forth online a little bit. And he sent me a couple handbills from the 70s. He said they look pretty old. Very cool hand-drawn stuff. And here's another one on this side. And he also sent me a bunch of Cirith Ungol stickers. But yeah, look at the price of the shows on here. This show was $1. This one was $1.50. A menu from Alice Cooperstown. Crucified. Crossover thrash metal band. I love this band. I've seen them in concert many times. Got this signed by two different members, two different times. I was actually in a band for a short time called Once Dead, and our drummer was Jim Chafin, of course, who was in the Crucified, among other bands. I did a show once in California. It wasn't even a show. It was just a backyard party at Mike Phillips' house. Mike Phillips is the guitar player from Deliverance. And as part of that, they were playing, and they were just goofing around. We did 2 AC/DC songs, Greg on guitar and me on vocals, and oh my gosh, it was awful. I sounded awful. We didn't practice. It was just an off-the-cuff thing, and it was just bad. But it was fun. That's what it was all about. So it wasn't really supposed to be something serious. It was just fun. While I was there, I got Greg to sign this, so. And this is the same thing over here. Both these signed by the 2 members. Another 8x10. And some Crucified postcards. Crumbs. That's a band. I never heard the band Crumbs. However, the guitar players in Crumbs was, this is Glenn Rogers right here. Glenn being from Deliverance, Vengeance, Steel Vengeance, Hyrax, Heretic, among many others. And then you got Brian Corbin over here. And Brian Corbin was, so you got Brian Corbin and Glenn Rogers. Was the guitar player for Heretic, original Heretic, and he was also in Reverend. And this is a 1994 promo photo, a really cool photo too of the band. I really don't know what style they were playing. I can only assume that it was a similar metal style, since that's still what they're playing together. This is actually a bunch of stuff from Dark Angel. Sorry, yeah, Dark Angel. And this is actually from last year, from the 2014 reunion show tour that Dark Angel did, and this is the Maryland Death Fest, and it's just a bill from that, handbill from that show, and vocalist Ron Reinhardt's a really dear friend of mine, and he sent me a copy of this, and somewhere in here he autographed it for me, wherever the Dark Angel one is. And then there's some wristbands from the Maryland, from one of the festivals that they played. Neurotic Death Fest. This one's cool because I really like the artwork's really nice on the front of it. As you can see down here, hopefully that's it's signed by Ron Reinhardt, but it's just basically a handout for the show, giving you the lineup and the bands that are playing. And then again, here's the another one that Ron sent me. This is the Sweden Rock Festival 2014. Jimmy Page on the cover. This is a thick one. And you can see there's just tons of great bands in this one. Let's see if we can find some of the bands in here, huh? Black Sabbath, Volbeat, Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie, Billy Idol, Alter Bridge, Emperor, Within Temptation, Transatlantic, Megadeth, Wasp. It's just packed full. Ted Nugent, Bonamassa, Camelot, Magnum, Queensryche, Dry Heap, Arch Enemy, Annihilator. This is just, what a lineup, man. And then there's Dark Angel right there, and as you can see, it's signed by Ron. And Ron, when they do these shows, he just grabs some of this stuff and sends it to me. It's just, like I said, he's been a great friend of mine for years and years. An old Combat 8x10 promo photo, Dark Angel. Another one over here, obviously from the Time Does Not Heal album. And it's an old handbill that I've just had forever. Savage Grace, Corrosion of Conformity, Dark Angel, and Possessed. That would have been an interesting show to see, huh? I'm not sure where I didn't see this show. I wish I could say I did. This was actually given to me. I think Ron gave this to me. Let's see here. We're getting to the end here. This is Deliverance. This is a State of Execution promo poster that actually came in HM Magazine. It was folded like this. But you can see mine is actually autographed by guitarist Michael Phillips right there. And then down here, see, Two Scott, You Rock Bro, Jimmy Brown. I actually got to see them on that tour. So, Deliverance sticker, Deliverance 5x7 promo photo that's also signed. And this is actually for the re-release on Rox Records of State of Execution. And if you pre-ordered it, you got one of these free 8x10s that was autographed by the band. Heaven's Metal Magazine with Deliverance and Guardian and Baron Cross on the cover. This is actually a card that when Deliverance played Nordic Fest in 2010, they printed these cards up and they just gave them away to people that were there at the festival and signed them for people. And I actually, did the artwork and printed them for him. So they, after the show was over, they Michael Phillips sent me one in the mail and had the band sign it for me, which is really cool. Join the Dead, which actually probably should be in J, not in D. But this is a press release for the Jimmy Brown. For Michael Phillips of Deliverance, his own thrash band called Join the Dead, and Join the Dead's still around. They put out a release on Rocks not too long ago. They need to put out another one because it's been a while, and that was only an EP. We need a full length, so another Deliverance promo photo, unsigned. Up from the Ashes, handbill. Up from the Ashes 3. As you can see, it's the headliners were Bloodgood and Deliverance, and then Ultimatum played, and Once Dead, Clank, Face Down, Troglodyte Dawn, among many others. And this is actually the last show that Ultimatum played outside of New Mexico. It was a great show for us too. We tore that stage up. Demons and Wizards 5x7 promo and a sticker. Die Happy stickers and a Die Happy promo poster. And this promo poster is autographed by the whole band. You can see Doug Thiem's signature there, and this is Larry Farkas' signature. I'm not going to pull that one out, but Die Happy is actually the same guys that were in Vengeance Rising, and the same guys that was in the band I was in called Once Dead. And when I went out to play the first show with them, it was supposed to be a one-off Vengeance reunion show. We were going to do this one show in Anaheim. I went out to sing for them. So when I went out the week before the show to practice with them. And the first practice, I bought all this crap along to get signed. I'm like, you know what? I may never see these guys again. And I'm a huge fan, so I'm just going to have them sign stuff. And they were all really kind about it, and I thought they got a kick out of it. And they all signed my stuff. So Die Happy bandana that came with, I think it came with Volume 2, the second album. Maybe the first album. I can't remember which one I got that with. And then some Dio promo photos, which I wish I could say were signed. A couple of full press kits in here. This is a full press kit for Sacred Heart. This is a full press kit for Lock Up the Wolves. And then Last in Line, which technically should be in the L section, but Last in Line was basically a Dio tribute band by all the ex-Dio members from the first 3 albums. And it's signed by the whole band, including Vivian Campbell right here. That's it. It's hard to see this. I got this set up for the camera, not for me. So you got Claude Schnell, who was a keyboard player. There's Vivian Campbell, Vinny Appice, Jimmy Bain, who recently passed away. Yeah, Last in Line. And I wish I could say I saw that show, but I did not. That was seen by my friend Bill Baffert. He picked that up for me while he was there. And a little Iron Maiden handbill and some junk in the back. And then that's it. Some stuff shoved in the back. Rainbow Bar and Grill drink certificate. Some concert King Diamond at the Stone. RO Speedwagon and Styx at the Route 66 Casino. Doobie Brothers at the Amphitheater. This is all shows that I've actually went to. Chicago Backstage Pass. Genesis Backstage Pass. Hyrax patch. This is actually a Judas Priest Backstage Pass. So went to see them at the Journal Pavilion, obviously on the 6/28th. And the reason it's in here is because even though it's from that show, I never did get to meet the band. They never came out. I was kind of bummed because I would love to have met Priest. But, yep, never got to meet him. But backstage VIP pass that I had, I think I won it on the radio or something like that. But, again, never got to meet the band, so kind of disappointing. And I think that's it. Oh, here's a the AC/DC dollar bill that they used to drop out from the stage during Money Talks, or one of those songs when they were playing, and that's all that is. So there you go. There is one of the many rock and metal scrapbooks that I have in my collection. So much stuff in here, stuff's falling out. Aerosmith from 1990, National Tennis Center. Tons of stuff in here. Anyhow, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please, leave me a note below, because I will do the rest of these eventually. If you don't care, then I won't do more. I don't know. It's a little different from my channel, so I'm not sure how people are going to like it or not. But hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up, and subscribe, and leave me a message below. Love talking to y'all. That's it. God bless. Stay strong.